Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to see how you all did on solving for the vertex on this previous problem. So on this one, the first thing you should have done was take both 2x and set it equal to 0, and x minus 7 and equal to 0, set it equal to 0, and solve. So if I've got 2x, that means 2 times x. The opposite of multiplication is division. So first thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by 2, so that those 2 cancel. And x is equal to 0 divided by 2, which is 0. This one, I'm going to add 7 to both sides. So those 7s would cancel, and x equals 0 plus 7 is 7. Now what I'm going to do is, remember, we got to find the vertex. The way we do that is we average our zeros here. Remember, those look like this on a graph, 0, 0, and 7, 0. But when I'm trying to average the values together, I'm just averaging those together. So we do 0 plus 7 divided by the 2 numbers that we're averaging together. This one would give you a decimal. 0 plus 7 is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. That's what we're going to plug into the equation here. So y equals 2x times x minus 7. And now let's put 3.5 in for both of those values of x. Y equals 2 times 3.5. And then we're going to multiply that times 3.5 minus 7. And we're just going to throw that into the calculator. Keep things simple. So we have 2 times 3.5. Open a parenthesis up. 3.5 minus 7. Close the parenthesis. And you should have gotten that y was negative 24.5. So our vertex is going to be, when x is 3.5, that y is negative 24.5. Also, we got to state our axis of symmetry according to the directions. And remember, that's just that value right here, that x value. So x is equal to 3.5. Don't forget to write x equals and then that value. So those were the 2 answers you should have gotten on the previous question. Let's move into how to graph. Let me adjust the setting here again. Give me just a second. Okay, so how to graph. Now you see that we're building on our steps. First we find the zeros, then we find the vertex, then we create a table just like we did in the past. Put that vertex as the middle value on your table, and then use that calculator technology to help you figure out the rest of your table. And you plot the points. So let's look at example E. It says to graph. Well, the first step I got to do is I've got to find those zeros. So I take each of these pieces and set them equal to 0. That one was easy, x equals 0. The other one is x minus 4 is equal to 0. This is already solved for x. This one I just need to add 4 to both sides. Then I have x equals 0 plus 4 is 4. So my zeros in this case are 0, 0. That's from this one. And then this one gave me 4, 0. That's my x-intercepts. Now we're going to find the vertex. Remember, to find the vertex, we're going to average my 2 zeros together. That 0 and that 0. So we add the 2 numbers together and divide by 2. 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. That's the x part of my vertex. Sorry, I fell off a little page there. All right, so from here, you're going to plug that into this equation up here. Y equals x times x minus 4. So now that we know that x is 2 for our vertex, y is going to equal 2 times 2 minus 4, which that is 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So 2 times negative 2. So that means y is negative 4. So when x is 2, y is negative 4. And that's my vertex. So what you do is you're going to create a table. So when I create my table, I'll just put it right here. I've got x and y. Remember that we want that vertex, 2, negative 4, to be in the middle of the table. And then you pick 2 values to the left, 2 values to the right of that on the number line. And now you get your calculator out. Remember, either if you have the graphing calculator, you go to your y equals to put it in. The rest of y'all, you go to your table button right down here. And you're going to put in your equation, clear out anything that's there. So my equation is x times x minus 4, and then you just push enter a bunch of times, unless if you have a graphing calculator, remember you go to second y equals. So here I'm going to go to where I have 0. So at 0, it's 0. At 1, it's -3. I already got the 2, -4. 3, it's -3. And then 4, it's 0. And notice we have that pattern, that vertex, so we see that we've got repetition here, so we're on the right track. And we plot our points. So we're plotting the point 0, 0, 1, -3, 2, -4, 3, -3, and 4, 0. And now we can go ahead and draw our parabola. Try to get that curve to the U, not a V at the bottom, a curve. And that would be our parabola for this problem. At this point, I want you to try F. F is y equals, open a parenthesis, x minus 3, close the parenthesis, times, open a parenthesis, x plus 1, close the parenthesis. So I want you to graph that. So remember, you start by finding your zeros, use the zeros to find your vertex, then create a table where the vertex is in the middle of it, use your calculator to help you, and plot your points. And then you can push play on the next video when you've had a chance to try the problem.